What is a safety tip everyone should know about? In these cold times, don't drive wearing anything you couldn't walk a half mile in. Never mix cleaning products. A falling knife has no handle. If your child goes missing in your home, first check any spots that would be dangerous for them to be, near water heaters, sump pumps, etc. Then check their common hiding spots. Edit. Wow. Thank you for the awards. Never ever sneak up behind a horse, ever. Check and clean out the lint collector in your dryer regularly. Sharp knives are usually safer to use. Always prepare for your car to break down in the middle of nowhere. Bring warm clothes, water, a charged phone, etc. If you're wondering if maybe you should be wearing safety gear, glasses, helmet, gloves, hard hat, the answer is always yes. Edit. For all the folks replying with first-hand accounts, I'm glad you were all mostly okay. Worked in a CNC machine shop. I was told the top 3 rules were: 1. Know where the emergency stop button is on every machine. 2. If you wouldn't touch it with your dick, don't touch it with your finger. 3. If something falls, it hits the floor, don't try to catch anything falling. If you get bitten by an animal that you even think is rabid, get vaccinated right away. Rabies is a brutal way to go out, and if you miss your window, there's nothing that can be done. Edit. Reading the comments, it seems like solid advice to get checked out if you get bitten, period. If you are the passenger in a car with airbags, never put your feet on the dash. Around any body of water. 1. Feet first time, never dive unless you know how deep the water is. 2. Drowning looks like climbing a ladder, and it's silent. 3. If you get into a dangerous current, swim perpendicular to it. 4. If you're in water over your head, or in a dangerous current, flip, float, and follow. When you cut wood or metal, the chips fly faster than you are able to blink. Do not put objects in the driver's foot space. If everybody else is staying on the beach, don't go running into the ocean. They might all be staying on the beach for a reason. Like jellyfish. I learned the hard way, so you don't have to. Never swim in an unknown water body. Turn your music down. I promise you will not like tinnitus. Don't turn the car on with the garage closed. It is better to correct an unsafe friend than to bury one. Never get into a vehicle if someone is trying to kidnap you. If you can help it, it's better to fight and scream as much as you can, because once you get in the vehicle, your chances of survival go down significantly. Don't let a kidnapper take you to a secondary location. Street smarts. When boiling a pot of water, turn the handle inwards towards the center of the stove counter. That way somebody, especially a kid, won't come by and knock it over or grab it and pull it over on themselves. If you ever find yourself in possession of a firearm. 1. All guns are loaded, even if you just unloaded it. 2. Do not point the gun at anything you're not willing to shoot, kill, destroy. 3. Do not put your finger on the trigger unless you are trying to fire the weapon at that moment. Edit. Good one to add. Know what is behind your target and beyond. If you get a whiff of really bad bow when you're hiking in the woods, chances are you are downwind from a bear. Stay alert. You cannot drink the waters from cactuses in emergency due to acidity and toxic alkaloids, which causes vomiting, diarrhea and mass dehydration, especially when you're hungry or thirsty. Edit. I never knew so many facts about cacti myself until I googled few of them when I got asked in reply. When walking down the street with a one-shoulder bag, keep it on the building side of your body, not the side on which people pass you. It makes the bag harder to snatch. If asked for the time on the street, don't check your phone. Check your watch, but do so by lifting your wrist to within your field of view. Don't look down at your wrist. If you don't have a watch, then say you don't know the time. Be cautious if a person asks you to look at something, like that car behind you. Collectively, these tips will help avoid some basic mugging tricks. Don't say, someone call an ambulance, do it yourself, or directly tell one person to do it. Don't move someone injured unless there is an imminent danger to the victim. Puncture wounds. The puncture object acts as a cork. Leave it in until medics arrive and let them deal with it. Learn CPR for adults and children. The same goes for choking techniques like Heinrich. Turn on your phone's flashlight and point it toward oncoming traffic when crossing the street at night. If you're treating a gunshot victim while waiting on an ambulance, the best thing you can do is apply constant pressure to the wound. Bind it if you can. But, whatever you do, absolutely do not remove bandages if they get too bloody. Just add more. Don't give the wound any chances to bleed out more than it already is. Deep dents in canned foods, especially on a seam, can be a sign of botulism or bacterial contamination and should be avoided. If you have a skin mole that has blurry edges, isn't symmetrical, is a weird shade of red, weeps fluids or acts like an open wound that won't heal, you might have skin cancer. Go to a doctor immediately. Melanoma kills fast. After large fires, ash will continue to fall to the ground. All fresh water outside will be laden with ash. Ash and water produces lye, which is poison. After fires, try to refresh and replace water outside for wandering animals. There's a principle in safety called Heinrich's pyramid, and while the precise numbers are open for debate, the general principle is that after a certain number of unsafe acts you will have a serious injury or fatality. This is typically used for workplace safety, but the point is, every time you decide that you don't need that piece of safety equipment, or you can skip that one step even though the book says to do it, you're ticking down the clock until a serious accident happens. In Heinrich's original, he posited that for each serious accident, major injury, fatality, there would be about 30 accidents with minor injury, and 300 unsafe acts. So eliminate those minor unsafe acts, shortcuts etc., and significantly reduce or eliminate the corresponding number of serious accidents. Oh, I have a really good one. In the event of a disaster, such as earthquake or flood, the drinking water system frequently becomes contaminated. Therefore you need to shut off the intake valve to your water heater. Then your water heater becomes an emergency drinking water tank. 1. If you fall forward, put your hands out to break your fall in order to protect your face. Besides preventing a head injury, broken arms heal, broken teeth do not. 2. Don't open any packages or bottles or shells, etc. with your teeth. You will chip or break your teeth and have pain and expensive dental bills. Edit. Use forearms and hands to break falls, when possible. Or tuck and roll. Or train extensively via YouTube tutorials so nothing gets broken. Sharp tools are safer and easier to control than dull ones. This goes for basically anything with a blade, whether it's a saw blade, utility knife, chisel, or simple kitchen knife. You're more likely to slip, lose control, or kick back with a dull blade. Never get into a fight with someone with cauliflower ears. Get a dashcam if you don't have one already. It can save you a lot of headaches if you're in an accident. Don't merge back in front of a semi-truck until you can see where its front tires meet the pavement, then keep going. Truckers don't leave big gaps in front of themselves in traffic out of the kindness of their hearts. They do it because trucks are hard to stop even with powerful air brakes, and the kinetic energy in an 80,000 truck load combo traveling at 65 mph would turn you into a fine pink mist if they hit you. Way too many drivers don't know how to act around semis, at their mortal peril. Source: Trucker. When it's raining or snowing during the day, and you need to drive your car, turn your headlights on. Headlights are not only for you to see, they're for other people to be able to see you. If you're spray painting, or painting in general, but especially lacquer-based paint, something and you're using primer before paint. Make sure the primer is compatible with the paint. It can cause a chemical reaction and self-ignite if they aren't. If you're stuck in a hotel room fire and can't escape, it's the smoke that will kill you. Call for help. Check for fire in hallway with the back of your hand against the inside of the door. If it's hot, do not open the door. There's a raging fire outside. Wet towels and put them behind the door. Scoop out the water from the toilet you bend using towels and your hands. Use an additional wet towel over your head to make some form of seal to breathe. It goes straight to a fresh air source. Use that for clean air. Stay low to the ground. Smoke rises. It's the smoke that will kill you. Edit. Wet towel over toilet part added. For women especially. If someone is making you uncomfortable or just giving off weird, creepy vibes, you never should worry about being rude. You don't have to be nice, polite, your safety comes first. Most car troubles can be ignored for a short period of time, e.g. check engine light stuff. But don't ignore shakes and shimmies. Head injuries can take hours to manifest. Go see a doctor even if you think it was minor. If you wait, it may already be too late once you start showing symptoms. Wasps can't fly if their wings are wet. If you get one in your home, squirt it with water and whack it with a fly swatter. No need to spray poison indoors. If confronted, it's far better to run away if at all possible rather than try to fight your attacker. Even if you think you are a badass. The gates on a railroad crossing are meant to break away when driven through. If your car ever stalls out on a crossing, don't bother with 911, look for the blue sign posted on the crossing gates themselves and call that number. That number will get you in contact with the train dispatcher who can let oncoming trains know about it immediately. A few things I learned from Scouts. A 9 volts battery can ignite steel wool. Dryer lint is also really flammable. Consider taking some in different plastic baggies on your trip as they don't add much weight. Drinking from stagnant water is also extremely dangerous. Look for running water instead. Remember, kids, it's always better to be prepared to have it and not use it, than need it and not have it.